All right, welcome out to another episode of the Coach Bible Weekly Podcast. It's Thursday, so that means we're back. We weren't back last week. We had a bye, but we're back with Coach Bible this week. Coach, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing well, man.
All right,
Staying
glad.
dry inside.
Oh, believe me, I didn't have to go to work today, so I'm glad. I'm glad I'm not out there getting wet. And so we're back to talking Rockport Fulton Pirates football. We've got a game on Friday. That's tomorrow night here at home at Pirate Stadium. For all you Pirate fans, come on out, support the Rockport Fulton Pirates as they start district play. First game of the 2023 season as far as district goes. It's going to be a good one. So please come out, support your Pirates. If you can't make it out there, definitely support your Pirates through the live stream. GT Sports will be out there live streaming the game, so you can catch it that way if you can't make the game. So, Coach, we'll get started. I know you got another meeting scheduled here in about 30 minutes, so I'll try to make this pretty quick today. The first question, like always, I want to get your thoughts on the Flower Bluff, a recap of the Flower Bluff game. I know it's been a while, 2 weeks ago, but what you can remember about that game and some of the things that we did positive in that game versus Flower Bluff.
I thought we came out in the game and did really, really well, especially defensively. They threw about every formation they had at us, and our kids did a great job retaining, just being able to line up to it in our calls. And so I was real proud of them for doing that, and we stopped them, got another stop on their first possession. And we played the run game really well all game long. Again, I think our front seven and our safeties are definitely have an understanding of their fits as far as run game goes. Second week in a row, we've held an opponent to under 100 yards rushing, so it's big time for us and moving forward. Offensively, we got out of the gate. We picked up a couple first downs, and then we stalled, and we had a missed field goal. And a few turnovers in that game. There were, I think, four straight possessions where we put the ball on the ground, and it's that fight for extra yards, little things. It's holding the ball in the wrong hand with the direction that you're running, and so we just got to get better at those little things and not giving up those opportunities to uh, as far as turning the ball over goes, and holding on to that ball as much as possible. And we preach all the time. I'd much rather have a 4 to 5 yard gain with there no chance of an opportunity for a turnover, rather than you're fighting for that 1 yard and you're exposing that ball.
No, absolutely, coach. And you're right. The defense, the run defense for the Pirates, it's been great. And that's something that the crew on the Pirates Co podcast on Tuesday talked about as they break the film down. They're like, look, our run defense is it's a lot better than week one, and we're really up there stopping the plays. The turnovers, I think, is what really got the game out of hand for us because we started, like you said, we started off, we came out and we shut them down, but those turnovers, they're killers. So we can, if like you said, if we hold on to that ball and don't turn that ball over, we're going to be in a lot of these games. And so, unfortunately, we lost the game, but I thought we did some really good things, and you pointed out a lot of those things that we did against Flower Bluff. Now that we take it into district, because we've got our first game on Friday, and we'll get that. We'll get your thoughts on that here in a bit. But Traey Alvarado has been playing really good. And he got injured in that game, coach. And I know he couldn't come back. It seemed like it was maybe a growing injury. I'm really not sure, but it looked like it was something like that. So I just kind of wanted to get an update on him. Well, how's he doing, and will he be available for tomorrow's game versus Pleasanton?
Yes, he'll be ready to play. We're still going to keep an eye on him, but he went through practice this morning and yesterday, and he looked really good running football. But yeah, that groin injury had been kind of bothering him a little bit. It was just starting to tighten up over those previous weeks, carrying the ball so much, and then there was one play where he's trying to drag 5, 6 defenders fighting for that extra yard, and it just felt a little tweak there, and so we kept him out of that ball game. And but no, he's back, and like I said, we're going to keep an eye on him. But he looked really well running the ball the last couple of days.
That's some good news for the Pirate fans, right? We got Traey back. That's awesome. But then we'll go over to our offensive player of the game versus Flower Bluff, and that was Trevor Garcia. So when Trevor going, I mean Traey going out, right? You still got that workhorse in Trevor Garcia, who coach played a heck of a game. 26 carries, 119 yards. And so we've seen the run game between both of these guys. Taylor's still out, but Alvarado and Garcia, they're just power runners, right? They don't go down. Neither one of them. You got to hit them low because if you hit them up, they're going to run over you. And he, broke the 100-yard marker. And I'm just after the game, I looked down and said, he's got to be just worn down. He just played a great game. But your thoughts on his performance versus the Hornets?
Yeah, Trevor, he's a baller, man. With Traey going out and him, like he's the next man up in that running back spot, and especially a game like Flower Bluff where we got to have him defensively, and then we got to have him offensively, and for him to be able to flip on both sides, play Sam linebacker on defense, and then play running back on offense and carry it 26 times, and I don't know how many exact snaps he got defensively, but every single snap that he did take, he wasn't taking them off. He wasn't playing the game like he was tired. He was doing every single thing that he could to play at full speed. So he was a heck of a player for us. Proud of him.
Yeah, I mean, it's great when you look at like I said, we've talked about this before on the podcast. Right? All three of these running backs, Taylor, Garcia, and Alvarado, will all be back next year. So, golly, man, it's just great to see that run game for us starting to open up, and you can see, and it's going to cause some problems for some of the teams in district. The defensive player of the game, the Pirates co-defensive player of the game, Adrian Estrada had 6 tackles. He's been big time last couple of games. So he had that interception against Orange Grove. He's coming around big time for us. Your thoughts on the way he performed against Flower Bluff?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said earlier, the defense is just starting to figure out like how important each one of their roles are, and kind of how it matches up in the run fit for this defense. And he's one that has really turned it on as far as, okay, I get this look, I get this block, this is how I react to it. And so just by doing those little things, these guys are figuring out that like we are putting them in position to make plays. And then from then on, it's about them making that play. And Adrian is starting to do that more and more and be more consistent, not only in practice, but in competition.
Yeah, just great to see that defense perform the way they have. And if you can stop that run game, you're stopping a lot, especially for these teams in district that love to run. And we're going to be facing some teams that love to run. So where it's going to be a great, it's great to see that defense being able to stop that run game. And we'll see how we fare in district. We got some good offensive running teams coming up here on the schedule, so it's going to be exciting to see how we perform against them. Coach, I'm going to switch it over a little bit. Tuesday night, I was over in Ingleside. Of course, we watch a lot of our youth and our middle school. And I was out there, and I got to tell you, Coach, it was just great. We were able to stream both of those games. Seventh graders coming in undefeated, and they get the big win over Ingleside 30-0. Cifuentes was back in there playing, but Zavala, Stroud, the way they run, throw, the offensive line, that defensive line, cross guard, I believe was one name I saw. They were just in the backfield, and coach, they were putting some major hits on those Ingleside. I mean, they were hitting hard, just playing great, right? The seventh graders. And so now they're undefeated. And I was telling some parents, I said, could we possibly go undefeated throughout the season? But just your thoughts on the undefeated season and the way these kids are performing, because those coaches, and I don't know their names. I wish I did, and I'm going to get that from you because we've got to give them some credit, right? They have these kids now playing Tuesday. They're focused and ready to go, and those kids are playing with such confidence. They think they can go out and win every game. Your thoughts on the seventh grade 18?
Yes, the coaches have done an excellent job preparing those kids. Coach Hasso, Coach Tidwell, Coach Thompson, Coach Stringer, Coach Thomas. All those guys have just done a great job in preparation and practice, and it's showing in those competition. One thing that really love about watching those guys, and I'll go out and watch their little pregame walkthrough on game days, and then watching them play the game, is they they they're intelligent. Like, they're intelligent football players, not just intelligent, in the classroom, but like they ask high level questions. Coaches can talk and speak football terms to them, and they understand what they're saying. So that it's a special group in that. And so when you have that, it's a lot easier to be able to make game time adjustments from week to week or within a game. And that's what they were able to do the other night, is be able to see what Ingleside was giving them, and okay, we're going to do this because of this, and they were able to execute.
They were, and sometimes, what's interesting to me is I watch them. Sometimes they'll just come out passing. I mean, they'll just pass first 2, 3 plays. This time around, it was the ground game, right? They were just running it, and like you said, it's whatever the defense was doing. The adjustments were made. Coaches talked to them, and they saw what was there, and they took advantage of it. And then, Ingleside couldn't stop them, and the end result is 30-0. Just an impressive a bunch of young kids there in the seventh grade A. And then we go to the eighth grade A, right? And they had a fight on their hands. That was one of the best games I've seen in middle school in quite some time playing Ingleside. Ingleside also had a lot of studs. They played a really good game. But when you look at Rockport and you look at Jet Leyva and got that late interception to seal the deal for the Pirates, and then he doesn't take it into the end zone, coach, and he kind of kneels at the 1 yard line, and they don't give the ball back. I'm not sure why they did that, but it was real. I mean, he could have gone in and scored at the end, but he took a knee at about the 2 yard line. And then you look at Monero. I think Jaden Monero, number 10. He had a great game. Double team, making big catches when the Pirates needed a first down. But what was impressive to me was the D line and the offensive line. Garcia and those boys, those big boys, they were just, I mean, the running backs are just running behind them. They're just putting their hands on their backs and they're just moving people back, and we're gaining 4 or 5 yards. The defense was all over the field, making some great tackles because Ingleside had some running backs with some speed and they were real elusive. So overall, they get the win 24-20. Just your thoughts on their performance and the way they played, because they played one heck of a game, never giving up, but they made big plays when they needed to win the game.
Yeah, and that's exciting to see is, how are they going to respond like when it's a tough situation? When the game is on the line and you got to make this play to either, seal the game, or you got to make this play to go up, whatever that situation. So it's exciting to see that, they're up for the challenge, and instead of backing down, they make that play, and that's big time.
Yeah, they've been really great. I tell you, you look at that seventh grade and eighth grade, you look at the receivers, you look at the running backs, you look at that line and what's coming up, and you got to get excited. If you have not gone to see one of these middle school games, there's still some games left. You got to get out to Pirate Stadium and watch it. You won't be disappointed. There is a lot of talent in that 7A and 8A and the B2 as well. I didn't get out there Monday. I heard they played, but there's a lot of talent there, and they're going to be moving up here to high school, playing Friday nights here in a few years. So you definitely want to come see what we've got going down there at that middle school level as they get up to high school here in a few years. So it was great to get the win on Tuesday from both of those squads, coach. And then we'll turn it over again now to the youth. Not something that we talk a lot about here, but I was at those games. And I've been there, and this Friday I was there, and I want to get your thoughts on your overall view of how things are going at the youth level with the coaches, with the players, with everything that you see. But I want to also talk to you about the senior division on this past Saturday, because I thought that was one of the best games I've seen in quite some time. It was back and forth. It was really good. The coaches for the senior youth really had those boys focused in this game. I gave a lot of credit to them on the live stream because I thought the play call was really great. But those boys, they had them ready. They were fired up, coach. They were fired up, ready to go. Just your thoughts. I know you were there. I saw you there on that senior game. What you thought and how they performed, and just your overall thoughts on how things are going with our youth program there on Saturdays.
Yeah, and one thing as far as youth, I would like to see our participation numbers up, from each class. That's one of, I would like to see that. And I don't, I don't know if it's just getting parents more educated on like how we're teaching the game more safe from top to bottom. That has something to do with it, or parents just not trusting that coaching that's going on down at the bottom, and for us to be able to, you know, get the outsiders that think that way to come see what the little leagues are doing. And one thing that I would love to do here in the future with as far as little leagues go is having them more active in our offices up here at the high school, and seeing exactly. I was able to meet with a few of them, this last summer, gearing up for this season. And I would just harp that, installing a new offense and defense and terminology, I know was kind of scary for some people when they just been doing what they know. And that 7th and 8th grade group is kind of a like, if they're running our defense, they're running our offense, and they're doing it highly successfully. You see the high school and our ability to now stop the run, which is huge, especially when you get into our district, and that's what people love to do, and get into playoff football. But I would love to be able to sit down with coaches and kind of explain, the all the ins and outs of our defense and offense, and sprinkle our terminology all the way down. And the state championship programs that I've been in, like Alito, you can go to a little kids camp and tell and ask an 8th grader what a specific play is at this position, and they'll be able to tell you. And that's kind of where we need to move to, in order to create a state championship level program.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And we're gonna get there, Coach. You're slowly seeing the moves, like when you go on Friday, right? The end result, I think, when people see, like, because I'm able to break down the film because we live stream it, and I go back, 5 or 6 times throughout the week, and you can see certain players you kind of focus on, and you kind of like slow mo, and you see what they're doing and how they're reading, and even though you look at just the end result, you're seeing improvements when you break that film down. I mean, the guys on the podcast break it down as well as I do, and they see, the improvements that are happening. So definitely you have to make sure it goes from high school, I guess, to middle school down to youth. So hopefully we get there. And those things that you want to put in place are there. I think that'll just help out the program. And when we see them on Friday nights, we'll definitely get up there, get deep in the playoffs, right? And make that deep playoff run. It's what we're all hoping for.
Yeah, another thing that'll help, especially our 6th graders, this year, and then moving forward, is that we have 6th grade pre-athletics. And so, this week, during the bye week, I was able to sit down and kind of organize, skills day for them. So we're getting those kids that are going to be playing football next year, and a lot of them are on that 6th grade team, and I'm getting with the quarterbacks in that group, and Bentley and Cole, and we're throwing, and using terminology that we use up at the high school, and the techniques and timing and all that, and lining up receivers and just throwing and catching, and they can't get enough of that at a young age, and working all the way through. I feel like we would be in a little bit better spot with our older guys if they just had more of that experience of just throwing and catching from the time that they were in youth football all the way up.
Absolutely, Coach. I definitely agree with you. And hopefully, and I've always said this on the podcast when I come on, Coach Bible, is that it starts there. It starts in the youth. It can't start in middle school. It definitely can't start up in ninth grade. It's that youth program, and around the area. I go and see like other teams in the Coastal Bend area, and I look at their high school, right? And I go down there and I talk to a lot of people in their youth, and I go watch them sometimes, and their youth program is where it starts. Great coaching down there, and they're picking up. So by the time they get to middle school, they know a lot of this stuff you're saying. So by the time the high school coach gets them, they're way past, they're advanced, and they know what they're doing. So I definitely like what you're saying here in terms of preparing our youth. and getting them ready right when they get into middle school with hustle, and then when you get them up there in high school. So definitely hope all that turns out okay for us, and we see that. But again, there is some talent, and you talk about those two quarterbacks in Cole and Bentley, and they can throw. I believe your boy, he's a left-hander, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, it's lovely to see him just get back there and throw it with the left hand. It's nice. And so, yeah, those two boys combination, it's going to be exciting to see them as they get older.
Yeah,
Coach,
and what's nice to see is the guys around him too are starting to be able to catch the ball a little more.
mhm,
You know, you
mhm.
got Gruber with pretty good hands, you got Solis with pretty good hands, and then some of the other guys that are starting to come on and catching the ball. So it's good. It's fun to watch.
Absolutely. In this last game, they actually threw the ball a lot more, and I was kind of like, "Well, we're throwing the ball here, man." So it's great. And the result was we won the game, so it was
Yes.
great. Coach, I'm gonna ask you to preview the game versus Pleasanton tomorrow. Of course, they're coming in. They come in at 2-2, first district game of the season. And we kind of broke down the guys did on the code, what they like to do, and what they're going to be coming in with. But we feel like we really got a good opportunity to get this win against Pleasanton. A lot of stuff that we do, I think, is going to give them fits. So I just wanted to get your thoughts as we move into district and we have that big game tomorrow night here at home against the Eagles.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about this matchup as far as what they like to do and what we can do, both offensively and defensively. So it's a good matchup. I think it's the perfect first district game to go into and at our place. So it should be a pretty good atmosphere here at home. But yeah, they like to run the ball. I mean, they line up in tight end and multiple backs, and they're going to come downhill right at you. And so our defense is built for that. And so I feel like we can get them in third and long situations. They got a couple big receivers that they've tried to chunk the ball down to, and they're kind of hit and miss on it, and they're getting better at that. But one of our goals this week defensively was do not give up the deep ball on third and long. Don't do it, whatever it takes. You got to play stinking physical on those receivers, whatever it takes. I'll take 15-yard penalty over a touchdown.
Oh, I would too. I sometimes I'm just, yeah, absolutely. And I would think it's going to be a great matchup. And again, like the guys on the podcast said, it's 0-0, coach. It's they played football. I didn't. I was a basketball player. They said, look, when district comes, it's 0-0. That's the record. Whatever happened in non-district doesn't matter according to the way they say it. Yeah, it starts now. It's a new season now, and definitely that first game will be here at Pirate Stadium in Rockport tomorrow. Game time starts at 7. Like I said, please come on out, support your Pirates. We definitely want to get this win and start the district off right, 1-0, 1-0, right, and get that win. But if you can't make it, support your Pirates through the live stream. GT Sports will be there. The crew, Rick Walker, Rob Walker, and the Z-Man Johnny Zavala will be in the house calling the game. Coach, before I let you go, just want to get your final thoughts and just on the game or anything else, anything you want to add before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to give our tennis program a shout out. They were district champs, and good luck to them as they prepare for playoffs. And then our volleyball, they play at home. They're sitting in third place right now, and they got a couple of their next 3 district games are big games that will decide how that district plans out.
Yeah, it looks like our volleyball team is on the road. Hopefully, we'll make the playoffs. That'll be big time. I know we got our first year coach here. We haven't really been able to get out there. We wanted to get out there and stream, but with football, as volleyball comes in, it takes about 90% of what we're doing because we're trying to get in there. So we're looking to do some things to get a crew out there to be able to follow the volleyball. But I really do apologize that we haven't been able to do that this year. Coach, thank you very much. And good luck on Friday. We'll definitely be in the house. I will not be there, Coach, but the crew will be there. But I'll be following through the live stream, and I'll be wishing us luck and get that win, man. It'd be great. The guys, we want to get that win. We know we got a good opportunity, and so it's going to be a good one. So, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.